So I'm sure I don't need to tell you guys this, but this chapter was amazing. All right. This is the first chapter in like forever that we've gotten anything super significant. All right. And I didn't expect this to happen this chapter, because like Oda always like cuts back and forth. He'll be like, "Oh, something's about to happen," and then he skips back to another point of view. So I was figuring that would happen with Sanji, but apparently not. And we got a lot of information, surprisingly, even though we haven't really gone anywhere. We've basically been in the same room for a while now. But that's just crazy. All right, so the chapter is already out. If in case you haven't seen it. It's on like some website. Just look it up. It'll probably be like the first, second, and third website to pop up. It might even be out by the time I upload this on Manga Stream or something. But basically, spoiler warning. There are 4 different types of poneglyphs that all lead to one place, like an X almost, like it's like a crisscross pattern into the island Raftel. All right, and nobody could have predicted that. I mean, it's obvious. It's like that nobody could have seen that happening. It was pretty obvious that the poneglyphs themselves were eventually going to lead to Raftel, because that was stated by before by Crocus. But the way they did it is really crazy, and it's interesting how the Yonkou play into this. And Oda's sort of given us the explanation on why the Yonkou haven't found the One Piece yet, because they have to basically get the poneglyphs from each other. And the thing is like with the photographs or the prints of the poneglyphs, the writing, you could technically sneak in like behind Kaido's back and just like take a picture or something of his poneglyph and then just translate it. But the problem is that of course they're guarding it, so that they're sort of like holding it as trophies, and they aren't gonna let anyone else get it. And so Zoe has one, Big Mom has one, and Kaido has another. And I'm thinking that Germa 66 will have a huge role in Big Mom's poneglyph, of course. So that'll come into the future, probably big time. And as for the fourth one, it's up in the air. Like it could just be like some random island, because like we didn't really know about Zoe until recently. So it could just be like that, where just some new island pops up and it's like, oh hey, there's the last poneglyph. All right, cool. Or I'm thinking that it would make the most sense if Shanks actually maybe knew where the last poneglyph was, and maybe when Luffy finds the location, Shanks will, if he's still alive, I know there's a lot of theories saying that he'll die before Luffy fights him, but I think that maybe Shanks will show up to the last poneglyph before Luffy gets it, and that will be like how they fight. He'll be like, that'll be his way of proving it, to get the final poneglyph to go to Raftel, and it'll be like right before they go to Raftel, so it'll be really cool. It'll be like the final battle of the series. Or it could just be like maybe Blackbeard, because we know Blackbeard's the Yonkou right now, and he's the other Yonkou who doesn't have the poneglyph aside from Blackbeard and Big Mom. So Blackbeard may have to fight Shanks over it, maybe, and that could be where the fight with Blackbeard comes in, because I know there's a lot of hype going around Blackbeard versus Shanks. So yeah, that's very cool. Obviously, Whitebeard probably didn't have the road poneglyph because he wasn't interested in the One Piece. But another significant thing in this chapter was the fact that Odin, this new character named Odin, I think it was, and he is Momonosuke's father, and he was killed by Kaido and the Shogun of Wano, and that's a crazy twist. So the leader or the Shogun of Wano apparently is evil. We don't know exactly how it went down, but maybe Kaido is manipulating him. We don't know, but we do know Kaido is in Wano now. He's in Wano. So that's obviously probably going to be where they fight him, that like a lot of people have predicted and said. So that'll hopefully be the next arc when we actually fight Kaido. There is the possibility of a Big Mom arc, but I don't see it with just Luffy going unless the rest of the crew decide to go. So the cool thing about Odin is that Odin could be sort of like a mix between the Norse god Odin, which is Odin, and it's also the Oden is the name for a Japanese dish, fish cake stew or something like that, some kind of meal, winter meal. So I don't know what that could mean really. I think it might be inspired by Odin, since the Kogetsu clan or the Kozuki clan, I don't know which one you prefer, they are of course a family of philosophy and stuff, and so is Odin. Odin was like a god of knowledge, I'm pretty sure, and of course that's the history of the Kogetsu clan. So it's also pretty obvious that the Kugetsu clan was associated with the D's, the ancient kingdom, the people who basically were destroyed by the world government. So they were also associated with the Minks, all the people who were associated with the ancient kingdom, all of them. So I wonder if that could somehow tie into the meaning I said in my last video about the name, the meaning behind the Kugetsu clan, which is basically whatever translation you prefer, Kugetsu or Kuzuki. They both mean red moon, and not just, it means dark red moon, I'm pretty sure. So this could also tie into the Crimson Poneglyph, but it is weird that the moon, especially during the Zou arc, has been constantly brought up by Wanda. She's constantly brought up the full moon, and she's like, oh, it's been a good thing the full moon is being covered by clouds. So I wonder if that could have any significance. I said in my last video that the circles on the Kugetsu clan logo seem to resemble the One Piece planet and the 7 to 8 moons around it. So this is really crazy, and it could tie into the location of Raftel. Maybe they used astrology to somehow map all the coordinates out, and that could relate to how they did the thing with the moons, or the meaning behind it. And lastly, the fact that Odin was a part of Roger's crew. Now this is pretty significant because I don't think we saw him on Roger's crew during manga chapter 0. And we also didn't see him in the episode as well. So we haven't seen him yet in Roger's crew. So this means it was in a later time, and it also means that Roger's crew is probably, or was probably, a lot bigger than we think it was. We originally thought it was like five or so people with a lot of grunts following them around. So we may end up meeting a lot more crew members along the way, aside from just Scopper and the basic Rayleigh and all the powerful dudes. So, and a lot of people are saying that maybe Scopper could be have something to do with the Shogun, or maybe his other name was Odin. Maybe he just went under Scopper. That could just be his false name or whatever. And it's really confusing because Oda has, I believe, he said that Scopper was going to tie into this whole mess in the future. He was going to become very important. So I definitely would say he's going to appear in the Wano arc, and I wonder if he will tie into the meaning behind these poneglyphs, maybe with Kaido and his poneglyph. Also, just one last thing I want to bring up is the fact that I think Oda really put an emphasis on this whole being able to copy the poneglyph, because we obviously know that there probably won't just be one person going to Raftel. There's a lot of people going after Raftel, and we're probably gonna see Blackbeard, maybe Kid, maybe if he's not allied with Luffy. We're gonna see some more people going to Raftel. So that's the importance behind the printing of the poneglyphs. I think that they will have to steal the pictures, so that way if Luffy has a poneglyph, it's not like nobody else can suddenly no longer go to Raftel as well. So that's very important. I think Blackbeard would probably be the one to go around stealing pictures of it and not actually fight his way to it. That just seems like the type of person he is, the backstabber. So that's about all I have to say for this chapter. It was really good once again, and I'm sure all of you are super hype for the next chapter, where hopefully he keeps us on a roll, because he tends to do that. Once he has one good chapter, we have 3 or so really good chapters to go along with it. Hopefully we'll see something about Big Mom, something about Kaido. We know Kaido and Big Mom are both right now doing stuff. So obviously from here, it's, we don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be crazy whatever happens. So stay tuned for future theories and reviews, and I will see you all later.